everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and you might have noticed on the Dice Tower here that we produce a lot of board game content. A lot. There's a lot of videos that go out, and videos get varying amounts of views. Our most popular videos are our top 10 lists, our top 100 games of all time, and very popular reviews, especially when we review games that are popular. We've done thousands of videos. I believe we're just shy of 10,000 videos here on the Dice Tower over the past decades. So what I wanted to do is make a video with links in the description here of videos that you might have missed over the years, or ones that I have a nostalgic feeling for. I put up a thread on Facebook asking people to list some videos, and I picked some of those videos, but some of these are also personal to me. Things I was like, I think you guys should go back and have a look at these. So these are just 10 videos that you might have missed. Number 10 is Board Game Terms Explained. We talk a lot about different board game terms, and this one, 8 years ago we made this, probably needs to be redone. In fact, there's a follow-up to this, Board Game Terms Explained too, but there's a lot of board game terms. What's worker placement? What's area control? What do all these different things mean? What's a tableau? And so we talk about this in this video and tried to show examples. This is one of the first cooperative videos that me and Z put together. We had a good time making it. And remember, when I tell you these videos, some of them, their quality is going to be, varying. Some of them are quite old. But I enjoyed this one, and I think it's a useful video. Like I said, we probably need to redo it. Number 9 is a video that I almost remade last year because this video I made at the very beginning of my career called Playing Against Children. And I talked about playing against kids. I have 7 children. My oldest is 22 at this point in time. She has a child of her own. By the time of making this video, I think she was 10 or 9. Or maybe even younger than that. They were young, my kids, in this video. And I talked about how do you play against kids? Do you let kids win? Things like that. Some pretty bad acting in this video on spots, but I like them. I still feel pretty strongly about the message. And it has hands down my favorite ending of any Dice Tower video ever. And it actually makes me nostalgic because those days will never come back. But anyhow. Number 8. Live from BGG.con. So Board Game Geek runs a con every year. And Eric and I do a podcast. And at the time, I had this audacious idea of, hey, let's do 2-minute interviews. We'll bring all these people in the board game industry who are at this thing. Let's bring them up one at a time. And just go through an interview with them. 2 minutes and then done, next person. It's exhausting. I think we did it 3 years. We might have done it 2 or 3 years. I don't remember how many years we did it. So these are fun. It's also interesting to go back because this is now, I think, this was 2014, 2015. And it's interesting to see what those people were talking about, how the industry looked at that point in time, and how different it is a decade later now. Next, we have another thing from Board Game Geek.con, but this is one of my favorite things ever. And we did a few videos following up, but this is Battling Tops. And in fact, I think this one gets missed a lot because Battling Tops is not in the title of the video. But at Board Game Geek, they do Battling Tops, which is just wrapping string around tops, shooting them into an arena, and see who wins. It's dumb, it's lucky, sort of. And yet, there's this luchador background thing going on, which I got involved in the following years. But the first year, I was just a reporter on the spot, and everyone treated it very seriously, and it's hilarious. I still get a kick out of this. I had a lot of fun making the video. It's probably a little longer than it should be. Chaz Marler made a video that was better than it the following year, a year where I was involved in the Battling Tops, but I just get a kick out of those. Next, we have Combat and Board Games. This is one of the newest videos on the list. I made this last year as a series that I was starting to make, and I'm debating continuing this series. And this is because we now have access to the Dice Tower library, I can just pull out all sorts of games and say, or maybe this was 2 years ago, and say, hey, here's how a bunch of things work. So I just show lots of different combat from many different games. This is another series that I'm thinking about continuing on and working and saying, okay, I'm going to show you a bunch of trick-taking games or whatever. Because we have this vast library, we're able to pull things out and show you that sort of stuff. Then Dice Tower the Musical. So we do shows at different conventions. And our biggest show has been, in the past few years, has always been at Gen Con. Well, there's been some memorable shows there, including one we had to censor part of it out. But there was one show, and this was right after Z came on board the Dice Tower, and it was our musical show. I said to Eric, I said, you can sing, I can keep a tune. Why don't we do a musical episode? So we threatened to do a musical episode, and we did do it there. And it was a small, crowded room. And again, I was taking my idea of having different people come on the show and jump on and off. You'll see people, Bonacor and Jeff Engelstein and other people. And there was singing. And it was magic. It really was. It was, I don't know that we'll ever be able to replicate that. We tried to in follow-up years. And there was some good stuff in follow-up years. But that show was a lot of fun. And we got to record it. Number 4, I really want to push these. I think you all should watch them, is our Game and Talk series. So Game and Talk is kind of an homage of sorts to Tabletop with Will Wheaton. But Chris Yee edits these. And this is us playing a game. I think we've done 3 or 4 of these now. And the video, we have one to Town Folks Tussle. There's the link. And we play through a game. And then we also talk about the game and do shots of the game. And it's a much highly edited. They're immense amounts of work to do. A lot of people watched our first one because it was that Kingdom Death Monster, and people were dying to see us talk about that. But I pointed to Townsfolk Tussle because I was just happy with the editing and everything. They're just fantastic. You should check them out. Then, History of the Dice Tower. So this was just me talking about each different parts of the Dice Tower. I went through the Dice Tower year by year. I started with my childhood. Then went to college years, and then I just started doing 1 year at a time, making videos about the Dice Tower. And in the description here, we have a link to all of them put together. It's like a 2-hour and 40-minute video. It's very long. But if you want to know how the Dice Tower came into being and how the history has gone, well, there you go. Now, people have asked me to continue it, and I'm like, well, I just stopped doing it, for a bit. But I went and watched this, and it ends in 2017. Well, I got 2018, 19, 20, 21, and 22 to talk about. That's 5 more years. So I'll use this video to make an announcement that in a few weeks, in March, I'll be posting the next 5 videos of that series. So I hope you enjoy them. But for now, you can go back and say, how did we get to where we are now? Number 2 of these 10 videos is Cinco Linko. We do Dice Tower playthroughs. We get asked to play through lots of games, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We try to make games look fun. We could hate the game, but we try to make them look fun. Most of the time, though, we like the games we're playing. When we got asked to do Cinco Linko, it's a fine game. I don't dislike it at all, but it's an abstract game, and I played it, and I said, this game is like 10 minutes. They want us to make a playthrough of this. How do we do that? And then we came up with an insane idea of, what if we made it like pro wrestling? And Derek did a great job editing this one, and we just had a blast. And yeah, it was silly fun, but I'm glad this video exists. And then my favorite video is kind of a tie, one that I think you should go check out. So nowadays, our top 100s are very, very popular, and we do them together. But back in the day, we used to do our top 100 separately. I would do my top 100, Z would do his top 100, so on. And for each of my top 100s, I did an intro video. And intros are not that exciting, but I talk about this is how I make the list, blah, 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 blah. Well, 2 of them, and I have the links to both of them here, are tied. The first one, I went to the thrift store and bought a pile of games, and we just destroyed them all in a montage at the end. And it's silly, but it's fun, and we grill some games. And then the next one, I was like, let's make it even better. The next one, I made a video with Eric Summer doing a voiceover, like an old-timey documentary-style how-to-do video, with Z Garcia in one of his first appearances on the Dice Tower. And I'm still really proud of that, but almost no one watched it because it was in this video that said Top 100 Intro. So go have it. So those are just some videos I thought I'd point out to you. Check them out, and like I said, the links, give them a watch. I don't mind in the comments of this if you say, hey, these are videos that you've done over the past years. We'd like to see these come back. Like I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish up the history or catch us up to where we're at now. We're probably going to redo the board game terms explained. But what other videos, would you like to see? We only have so much limited time and all, and we always want to do reviews. They're the bread and butter of the Dice Tower. We want to talk about, are these games good or not? And of course, we know people like the top 10s and top 100s. But what are those other little videos that get lost in the ether sometime? Some of them we might want to bring back. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, folks. I'll see you next week. I'm Tom Vasel, and this is the Dice Tower.